here on the N64 Quest. We're ready to jump into Monaco Grand Prix, a Ubisoft release, F1 racing title. Excuse me. I really got nothing to say on this one, honestly. I really don't know what I'm expecting. I think this is a given that this is going to be like a one and done type of stream, because if we look at the fact I've done several of these type of games before, these really serious, professional styled racing games, and haven't really had a lot to say about them, you know, even the good ones. I mean, I've had a lot to say about the good ones being like F1 World Grand Prix. I can tell that game is really good. World Driver Championship, I can tell that game is really good. It's just not my style, so I can only go so far with it. Ooh, car handling, arcade versus simulation. That's gonna make a difference, let me tell you, right? So this is a bit of a weird game to me, because I feel like, and I think you could say this about a lot of the racing games, really, but I think you can say that this is probably one of the most forgettable games on the N64. The actual just number of racing games that came out for it, especially over here, really makes that like the racing games that's typically the ones that are gonna take that spot, if anything. But yeah, I think this one just, it really has flown under the radar. I think I don't know what I'm looking at here. I'm driving. Okay, I'm picking between teams. It's like I know what these are supposed to be, but I still don't know at this point like what I'm looking for here. Okay. Oh, the Elite, which is just these two guys. Apparently, those guys are really good. I want to say these are the real like racing teams that you'd have. There's just like there's two guys per team. Okay, well, those guys suck. Just gonna go with it, whatever cars I like to look up the best. I like the blue. Sure. Let's take this guy. Yeah, cool, good. So when we get to right here, we're gonna knock this down to amateur. The weather, take what we can here. Race length, realistically, why don't we go for 10%, but right now we'll just leave it at 25%. The reason I want to be able to knock the race length down to a lot fewer laps is because, so I do have here the Nintendo Power right here. It's the Pokemon Snap issue from June '99, which I think is like 2 months before this would have come out, but who knows for sure when this came out. My understanding that it came out around September is ticky-tack at best. And yeah, so Ubisoft published Monaco Grand Prix. You've got 4 pages here. You've got 4 pages in the Nintendo Power feature. Monaco Grand Prix is not found anywhere on the front. It's in here, it's 4 pages, and 2 of those pages are just track layouts. And I mean, the first 2 pages, I mean, what is there to say about it? It's rules of F1 racing. It's the typical, like, these are the parts you can modify, and the flags and the modes that are in the game, which are single race, championship, duel, and time attack. They've got nothing. They've got nothing to say. Anyway, I guess we're just gonna hop right into it here. Oh yeah, but the thing I was gonna say that I saw looking in here is that these races, the real races that they do with these, are so long. I'm looking at these, I'm like, I know, like, obviously it's a video game and they're not gonna expect you to sit here for 6 hours or whatever it would be. Well, I guess it's not really 6 hours, not in this one. NASCAR races are really long. But it says like 45 laps, 65 laps, 72 laps, like they do dozens of laps on these things. And I know that the actual like 1 lap doesn't take that long, but like doing it 45 times in a row would absolutely kill me. So okay, let's Australia. I guess it's only yeah. Oh, it's championship, not single. Okay. Let's get into it. Probability of rain, 50%. Cloudy. Sure. So, yeah, the rain thing, that is something that does, you know, affect these races a lot, compared to some other styles. Like rally racing, it's kind of, I don't know where we're going with this. Rally racing, they kind of have to deal with the weather thing too. I know that, like, the slickness of the track. I've listened to, like, the Ultra 64 podcast talk about this. I'm gonna make, like, really, really slight adjustments with no real idea on what I'm looking for. Let's just leave that, I don't know. Just because you know what? Let's go with the rain tires. We got a 50-50 chance of rain here. Like I can read it in the Nintendo Power, but it's so not gonna take with me. All I know is that they're like, don't just like go in without making any changes. I'm like, could I though? Let's get that slant going. Whatever. I don't know. They have a thing like you adjust this so you can like choose how much fuel you start the race with, which determines like when you have to stop for the pit stop. And it's like, cool, that sounds like a really in-depth thing that I would plan for, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that there is detail put into this, there is work put into this. I just like I have no frame of reference for these things. I have no capacity to learn anything about this really. That was a really long horn. And we find out, is it C or is it A? Oh, okay, that's right, my car is blue. Okay, so we're in the, that means it's a hazard on the track. Okay, so, anyway, the idea here, I'm just getting over the fact right now that we're, okay, oh my, oh god, okay, I figured out how to change the camera angle on this, now I have to, like, deal with that. What I've learned about, F1 racing, essentially, is that, hold on a second. The black and white flag means you've been spotted violating the rules. Like, have I? They determined that. Did they determine that that bump to be official? To be intentional? I mean, like the officials are. Oh my god. This is the view that I would assume that you'd be going for. I guess I get the cockpit view, like. You want to feel like you're in it, but yeah, I don't. Cool, so I'm behind the majority of the pack, and I'm in front of, the only 3 people I'm in front of, I assume, are people that are making their pit stops, or have made pit stops, and then there's like one guy at the back. Oh my god, this is not my style at all. Because of this, because I knew I was going into this today, I was thinking, oh my god. I was thinking to myself, like, I would do, like, not necessarily another N64 stream, but I was definitely, like, I have to throw something else up on Twitch to cover today, and the fact that this is, like, definitely a one-and-done stream, I'm not intending on coming back to this. This is just not for me. And we've got several of these on the N64, and like, okay, we'll give it the old college try when we pop it in, we see what it's all about, and really just based on other people telling me, like, F1 World Grand Prix is like, if I'm going to play this type of racing game, it's that game. I'm playing that. this does seem like I can really not be bothered, especially when it's not a game I'm all that interested in. To get my wheel out, like I have a wheel, but the kind of games that people buy the wheels for, it's so funny. Like those are the games that if I was going to play them, I don't have the energy to get the wheel out and use it. And then other games, like I guess I could try it with like Beetle Adventure Racing or Rush or something like that. One of these days I will do that, but really, it's like I only own the wheel for the sake of the collection because anytime it's appropriate, I'm not gonna feel like it. Overshot that one, and you're not making a pit stop yet. Did pass one guy though, so gonna get the straightaway. So lay on the gas a bit here, I guess. And yeah, the thing that I learned, especially that podcast when the guys from Ultra 64, they looked it up and they were talking about these games. It really gets laid into you that like, oh, you speed up on the straight bits, and it's more interesting to me than NASCAR is because you have different like tracks, you have to like make turns and stuff. So the thing that always like blows me away about these is that like it is a game where you're literally going insanely fast, and then like at almost every turn the intention is to hazard raining out there or a spill or something. The intention is that like at almost every turn you slow almost completely to a full stop so that you can make the turn. It's so like weird to me because like racing to me involves like, I guess this is why I'm not good at racing games, but like racing to me is like slow down as little as possible, slow down as much as necessary to do it to make the turn. It's crazy. There's just a slingshot of acceleration with these things. It's so weird playing these type of racing games compared to literally anything else. I did notice something cool right there, actually. I do appreciate this detail. When I roll on the grass, as I'm wont to do, you notice the wheels, like, they pick up a lot of grass. The grass sticks to it a lot. So like the wheel turns green for a bit, and then it rolls off. That's pretty funny, actually. I like that. I like that level of attention to detail. I can appreciate the work that's been put into this game, although there's still, I'll be honest, there's still a lot missing to me. There's no music, which, I guess people really do want, like, the engine sound and stuff, but the engine sounds always just sound so weird to me, because they're not regular cars. They're like these really high-pitched, like this thing you're hearing now that you're hearing the whole race. I can't imagine, like, only ever hearing that and, like, playing a game for hours and hours and hours. It's like, well, full 360. And just a game that, yeah, this is all I ever want to listen to is this whirring engine sound. It doesn't appeal to me at all. None of this audio design appeals to me. But that's also not necessarily fair to say, like, oh, it's bad. It's not bad. It's just like detail after detail of like, why don't you like this type of racing game? It's like, well, for one thing, it's just a bunch of noise. That is like the turn, isn't it? That one, oh, that's like it's like a 110 degree turn here. So we gotta watch ourselves with that one. And here we are, we're on lap 5 out of 14, and this is a quarter race. Realistically, like, I'm gonna be like a 10% race man at this point. like, this isn't Beetle Adventure Racing. I'm not in this for 7.5 minutes of racing minimum. Which realistically, I think this is actually, it would end up being more like a 15-minute race, I think, because it takes over a minute to do a lap. Because that's a per lap counter up at the top there. We're already a minute in. We're only like halfway. This is like a 2-minute lap track, and you're supposed to race 14 minutes. Yeah. Figure out what I'm doing next, but even if it's not the next N64 game I do today, figured I'd hit the streaming button or the share button on like my PS4 or something while I play Crash Bandicoot or Rock Band or something like that. Definitely not something I feel like doing all day. I don't feel even necessarily, we're less than halfway through this race, I don't even feel like finishing this race. I feel like I'd rather try another track in another car and see if there's any real difference to it. I feel like the 25%, even that was like way too much. So just doing this 14 times is just like, I'm just not about it, you know? I think on the next lap I'm gonna have to do my pit stop, probably. I got my eye on the gas meter up there, 15 liters left. Oh yeah, now the thing's blinking, so. It's that real crazy turn. Alright, let's do it up. Sure. Oh god. Let's see if we can check what the next game is while they're doing this. Just about. Almost 9 seconds. I lost 2 spots. It's not so bad. Figure, you know, I've scratched and clawed to get to that 15th place point there. You assume that if you're gonna take that pit stop, it's like, yeah, you've passed 3 people that only because they were making their pit stop, so you're gonna be losing those pretty easily. Oh my god, this fucking sand. Maybe after this lap we'll call it quits, we'll try something else. Try a different track, different car. See what else we get out of it, and do a much shorter race. Do the 10% of the 10% race. Yeah, just trying to cut across the infield like, you know, you fucked up that turn. Is there any way to like salvage by like cutting across? No, I do it every time. Had to. It was either that or be choked to death. Magnetic Morelli. I don't know if that's supposed to be up there. Obviously I recognize like Bridgestone, Castrol, and Bic. Okay, you're a complete failure. Abandon race. What is next, though? I didn't even give Mayhem a rating. I feel like it has to be a 5. What did I give Attitude? 5. Yeah, just I gotta stick with that 5. Next after this is gonna be Army Men Sergeant Heroes 1. That's actually pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. That's a game I've been playing since I was a young lad. So, and I've never finished it. It's not, from what I remember, it's not terribly easy. But let's pop onto single race. Pick the. I guess I'll just pick the guys with like the full ass stats because like what I don't know. I don't understand. Circuits. What do we got? We might as well do Monaco, I guess. Laps 7. Well, 7 laps. Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay, let's do it. Yeah, let's. Nice conditions and everything. Let's just do this. Make sure we don't have. Yeah, whatever. Okay. God, now that I've looked up that it's gonna be Sergeant Heroes next, I'm like, yeah, I wish I was playing that. I gotta give props to this game for doing, you know, it seems respectable and everything. I just like I've got no energy for this. I've got no brain power, no interest in this type of racer. Take me back and put me in Beetle Adventure. I'm racing in these high-powered millions and millions of dollars. Apparently, is what people spend on these to get them to race them and put teams together and stuff. And I'm like, please put me in a Volkswagen Beetle and let me race on a tropical island somewhere because it's just so much more my speed, literally. Oh, we're already like dead last and doing very poorly. What else do we expect? I gotta say, actually, it's very funny to me. I'm vaguely familiar with this racetrack because it's been depicted in many games. But most specifically, this is in Twisted Metal Head On has an arena that takes place in Monaco, and this sort of like. I've got a vague idea, or this sort of, they did a good job of representing, yeah, you know, the marina out there with the boats. This is actually kind of funny, like, I know this to an extent from not another racing game, not from watching it, not from any of this sort of stuff. I know this from Twisted Metal Head On, like, this feels familiar. And in Twisted Metal Head On, you have all of these, like, cars that are racing along the Monaco track while you're, you know, shooting explosives and machine guns at oh, that's gotta be the pit stop, huh? Oh my god. I cannot stand the completely slowing down sort of what you have to do with these races. And this is so narrow. There's so much about this type of racing I do not understand. It's so narrow. I appreciate the views. I do like the Monaco setting. I guess that's why they have it there for rich people to watch. Because this is like the poshiest like sporting event you can take in. More so than horse racing, more so than polo, more so than whatever the fuck else you wanna throw in there. Like, yeah, this is racing for the elites. It's polar opposite of NASCAR. Like, you watch this, you sit in a box along these tunnels and sip champagne, and you go, oh look, that was fast. They went by fast. So yeah, goddamn, how narrow are these things? It just blows my mind to think like, yeah, 22 cars, 22 of these vehicles are meant to. And we've already seen, like, when we try to take those really tight corners and stuff when the race started, like, that's what happens. Like, it gets jammed all up in there. Oh my god, fuck this. We really just are out for like a nice leisurely drive at this point. Yeah, I I'd rather be in Sweet Tooth, like waiting for these guys to try and like go by and just run over like the comparatively very, very tiny millions of dollar race car and crush it under one tire, which is what happens in Twisted Metal Head On. It's very satisfying. At least this race is not going to last terribly long. Oh my sweet Jesus. I don't know how to do it. I really don't. Because I full stop for those. But like, unless it's about tweaking the steering and stuff, all the get under the hood or under the chassis and make changes, they'll let you figure out how to do this stuff. I'm not prepared for it. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, look, there's the bleachers. That's where the common folks sit for this. That's the other thing I think about this type of racing too, is it's like sitting around and watching people run a marathon, because you can't watch the whole thing. Like, at least with NASCAR, I'll say I appreciate the fact that like you can watch the whole race as it happens. This is more like, even if you look at like golf, like everyone stays more or less on one hole. I think you can change. You can like walk over to another hole. I'm thinking of like Happy Gilmore, like, oh, everybody's watching Happy. It's like, well, I guess they're like specific to go to the spot where he's coming up to. Oh my fucking god, I hate this. Can you reverse? There's no reason for these cars to have to reverse, is there? Maybe there is. You keep messing with the camera angles. I'm gonna get this up high. Gives me a little bit better idea of like what's coming up. Yeah, there's no way to take that turn for me without inevitably like hitting the wall on the way through it. Good lord. Let's go back to this shit. Oh yeah. Yeah, this would be perfect if you had the actual racing wheel, right? In the cockpit. Watching the sprites of the hands. That's probably the weakest graphical point of this game I've seen, is that the hands inside the car, that looks like a Super Nintendo game up there. But whatever, it's really. Oh yeah, and this is the one that they gave me first, which is in front of the cockpit. It's from like sitting on the hood of the cockpit, like the bubble. Slightly from like sitting on the rear spoiler, I guess. It's straight behind him, that's probably the best way. Oh man, am I gonna get lapped? I've been waiting for that to happen. I've been surprised it hasn't happened yet. Still, that's the best I've taken that turn yet, but I still, like, you're gonna skid against the wall, I feel like. Trying to follow that, skid marks on there that are, like, the racing line. They're trying to help me. I'm not paying any attention. It's fine. What happens if I go straight here? That's a big-ass fucking wall. That is literally just a dead end for you to run straight into. Why? Why is that there? Because I know the pit road is like up here, so. Oh my god. Oh, there he is. There's the boy who's lapping me. All right. Wait for that.
Last lap.
Last lap. Wait, how's it the... Oh, it's the last lap for the guy that lapped me. That's what they were saying. That's right. I'm not gonna let you finish before I start my last lap. Oh, am I kidding? They're absolutely going to. I think everybody else in the field is gonna lap me, honestly. Especially if that shit keeps happening. Yeah, audio design, like, no music, no announcer commentary. Slight, like, every once in a while you get that, like, PA announcement, like, just for the last lap thing, so, yeah. This also came out on the Dreamcast, though, I believe. That's very interesting to me. Dreamcast, Sega has their own F1 game they have, it's Flag to Flag. So, like, I've heard solid things about that. I've heard solid things about this on Dreamcast, I think. It's fine, but, like, how do I guess, you know? How do I determine if they're true or not? Because even when I'm playing them, it's like, okay. I guess that was the last lap. Alright. So that was, yeah, God. Alright, that was Monaco Grand Prix. I've got nothing to say. Not my style, not my vibe, not my type of racing game. There are many racing games that I really, really do enjoy, and this type of, like, really serious, like, sporting one is just... Oh, okay, there I am. Like, I did not finish. Or did I? Who did I pick? I have no idea. I don't even remember what my guy's name was. Cool. Yeah, if you like this, I mean, the problem with this game too is that it's so forgotten. It's so under the radar. I feel like this is, for people like me, it's strictly a completionist pickup, because you can get F1 World Grand Prix, which is really, really good. And from even like a casual observer who can look at that game and say, yeah, like, this game is clearly well done. Like, you have to go out of your way to get this game, so why would you when F1 World Grand Prix is so readily available? So yeah, there's not really much reason to pick this up, unfortunately. Even though it's better than the other racing games of this style, I still have two more serious racing games, two more really serious racing games, NASCAR 2000 and Indy Racing 2000 to get through on this thing. So, like, this isn't even the last of it. I guess it could have been worse, though. That's all I can say. It could have been worse. Like, the actual game itself could have been like a complete dumpster fire, like V-Rally was, or like F1 Pole Position was. Like games that you can tell, like, oh, this is ugly and awkward and overly simple. Like, not a lot in it that you can tell that it's good for people who are into it. So I'm really looking forward now to Army Men Sarge's Heroes. That's gonna be the next game on the N64 Quest. I might hit the stream button while I do some other shit today. I won't get onto Army Men just yet, but that is next coming up. So thank you if you've watched this at all for whatever reason for being here with me, and I'll see you next time for that.